Praise the Lord and give all the glory to God. So, welcome back to Hickory Sticks Woods Works Northwest. So today we're going to build a couple of these steins, beer steins, and they're going to be the first items that are going to go into Octavio's box. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch the last build I did on Octavio's box, this is the box right here that we built. And Octavio is a 5-year-old boy that lives here local in our little town, Castle Rock, and he's got leukemia, been diagnosed with leukemia, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And his mom's forced out of her job. She's a CNA, so she's not able to work in her occupation and be around him at the same time. So she's opted to stay home and take care of the son. So and that's the right thing to do. So we're going to support her with some fun driving stuff, and these two steins they're going to be the first things that go in Octavio's box for our donation to help support the family. And the thing about these steins is these 20-ounce tumblers, these black tumblers with the lids, they actually come with a straw too. They fit in there perfectly. So we got these two, and I'll get the straws that'll go with them, and we're going to put these in this box and go from there. So you'll see how I build these. They're not a hard build. The hardest part to the whole thing was drawing out the handle for them to get those cut out, and I think I nailed it. So stick around and we'll walk through how we build these, and maybe you can build some too. And if you haven't got a chance to watch the Octavio box build, you look at my description, all my videos, you'll find it. It's not hard to find. Very few videos out there now, so take a look at it and see if you can support the family a little bit if you can. We'd be very, very much appreciated. All right, God bless y'all, and let's get into it. Alright, so I got this right down to 7/16 of an inch. Table saw blade is set to 8 degrees, and through prior testing on some other wood, 8.5 degrees is about where our sweet spot's at. So we're going to try this with and we're going to cut 3/4 inch wide strips. I'm going to make a cut on the outside first, and then spin it around, set this to 3/4 inch. And then cut all these into 3/4 inch strips at 8 degrees on both sides. Got them all ripped down, so now we're going to cut these to 7 3/4. Our final dimension that we want is roughly 7 1/2, but I want about, you know, 1/4 inch to play with to get everything all finalized. When we glue everything up, I can trim it back down, but we're going to start out at 7 3/4 inches. Setup block here, this is an 1/8 inch on this, and I need to use a piece of one that didn't work out with the cutting. So the idea is to put this here, and I need a 1/4 inch dado, 1/4 inch from the bottom. So I'm going to use the setup block here and go across the saw, and then come back and then scoot it over that 1/8 inch and take another shot. That should give me my 1/8 inch dado, and the blade is already set for a 1/16 deep. So let's give that a go, see how that works out. Exactly a 1/4 up and a 1/4 wide, and should be exactly 3/16 deep. Yeah, that's pretty close. I think we're going to go with that and just run them. And the cut is going to be on the bottom side of the inside of this, so it's going to be where the angles are at. It's going to be on the shallow side of the angles. Okay, so these are the slats, and I got the grooves all cut in, all of them. I got 2 groups of them here, so got the angle cut. So we're going to put the angled narrow piece down. I'm going to line these up against the wall here. I'm going to make them all straight and flush. Get my fingers to work. Alright, so they are all flat. And put a little tape across the back side here. Alright, so I got a couple of round pieces. I cut these out of the other half of the board that I cut on the bandsaw and narrowed them down to a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to flip this over, spin it around, and I'm going to put this in that notch right there. Fits pretty snug, and we're just going to wrap this right up around it. Check our fit, make sure our fit's good. I think that looks all right. Alright, so I'm going to take that back out and lay it down and put some glue in there, glue this thing up. Alright, got a little glue. We're going to add a dabba right down the seam of all these. slats do not want to cooperate. This looks a lot easier when somebody else is doing it, that's for sure. Looks like it's seated pretty well all the way around. I think I like that. Got a couple of these larger rubber bands that are I'm going to put around there rather than try to put a clamp on that. Hopefully these will keep it in place. Get everything lined up. Keep it well. Well, that one broke. Alright, I'm going to get that dry for a couple hours. See if I can get something down in there to clean that glue out of there. Let that dry and I'll be back in a little bit. The glue off the outside. Alright, so I drew out a little bit of a shape for a handle on here. Pretty good size. I got pretty good sized hands, so I want something I can, you know, for the manly hands. I'm going to try to cut this out on the bandsaw here. Not real good with the bandsaw, so we're going to see how this goes. As long as I don't lose any fingers, we're in good shape. That's all there is to it for that. So I gotta get this sanded up and do some cleanup on it, maybe just some routing on the outside edges. on both sides, get it to where it fits the hand pretty well. I might actually thin it down a little bit. It's kind of wide. It's like a little over 1 inch wide, so I might actually run it through and take a 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch off of it, narrow it up a little bit. We'll see how it looks after I get it all sanded and get all the saw marks out of it. Yeah, so apparently I forgot to turn my microphone on, so yeah, I did go ahead and take a 1/4 inch off on the bandsaw on each one of them on the side, make them a little bit narrow where they were wide from my hand. So right now we're just going to go ahead and hit them with the round over bit and the handheld router there, 1/4 inch round over bit on them, and then we'll do some sanding on them. Alright, so I finally got these sanded down to where I like them, pretty happy with them. Like the engraving on them, both sides. So to go ahead and finish these, I'm going to use the same stain that I've been using the last couple of projects. It's the Bare wood stain, gunstock color. It's an oil-based stain, and I'm really digging the color on this. It's pretty good color. I'm just going to do the outside of these, not going to do the inside of them. Now I got the liners that are going to go inside of these, so I'm not expecting most people are going to want to drink, you know, with stuff inside the body of these, but they can if they want to. So I don't want to put stain inside there and make it where it's going to have some kind of toxic stuff inside of the body of these. But said, for the inside of these, I got these stainless cups that I had before. Some of them I had I engraved stuff on them, and they wouldn't move. So I'm going to put them down inside there, and they will come out. They just pop out. Just hack and whack them with that. All right, so the next thing I need to do is just let that sit and dry for a little while, and then I'm going to put a coat of clear over them and some wax the inside, and then they'll be done. All right, so these have dried for a couple hours now. I'm just gonna get a little board butter here, a little beeswax and a mineral oil combination, and rub it down on there with that, and that's pretty much all I'm going to put on there. I was going to put a coat of lacquer on, but decided that I really didn't want to do that. So we're just going to put some of this beeswax and oil on there and call it good. I don't know how I'm going to get my hand all the way down on the bottom of there to get that. That's going to be a challenge. My hand's just too big to get in there. Find a long-handled screwdriver or something that can wrap the rag around and get it down in there with that. Alright, let that dry and I'll rub it back up. Meanwhile, I'll get the other one waxed up and ready to go. And the nice thing with these is these tumblers, stainless steel tumbler, fits perfectly inside there. And if you want it back out, pop right back out. And these come with the lids and the straws. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up with this and see if we can't move on to another project here real quick. Both of these are going to go into the box for Octavio's drawings. I did a video last week. The last video I did was Octavio's box. And if you didn't catch that video, I'd highly request that you go back and watch that video, and it kind of explains the idea behind Octavio's box. So he's a 5-year-old boy that has leukemia, lives in the local area here, so we're going to do some fundraisers for him. I built a box to put fundraiser stuff in, and both of these are going to go in that box for Octavio, and see if we can't raise some money for him and his family and get him through some hard times. Him and his family are really struggling, so I'm going to reach out and see if we can't help them. Well, thank you all for watching. God bless you all, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Y'all take care now.